All right, so finishing up with Central Colorado and the rail line. Before I go into the pictures, I just kind of wanted to go over some more stuff again with you about how these companies change names. Here, just during the 3 years before construction on the line began, the company underwent several reorganizations. On January 20th, 1866, the name of the railroad was changed to the Colorado Central and Pacific Railroad. The following year, in June 1867, the company was reorganized. Union Pacific investors were in control, but provided no funds for construction. That year, the seat of territorial government for Colorado was relocated from Golden to Denver. And then on January 1868, construction began for the first line connecting Denver and Golden. On January 14th, the company changed its name to Colorado Central Rail. Okay, so here's my problem with this is where did they get the rail for this? Because CF&I was supposed to be made to build rail traffic or rail. That was until 1882. They actually pumped out their first piece of iron in order to do this. And then my other question is let's look at the history of when Colorado got the railroad and when Denver did. Okay, so if we go back on Denver's timeline and we go to 68, so one of these it was so important that they had to put this in here that schools in Denver segregated due to the demands of parents, a separate school for blacks students being found at the 16th and Market Street. Okay, so this is another one I'm going to show you. When I was looking through photographs and stuff, I don't believe our history is really what they told us. I believe that they came in and conquered us really bad. And anyone that stood up or went against this were, they were sent to institutions or whatever. And so let's go on this one. 1870 population 4,759 on June 22nd, Denver Pacific Railroad completed to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Okay. So how is it on January 1st, 1868, construction began on the first line connecting Denver and Golden? So this is 2 years before they actually even got the railroad into the state of Colorado. And we'll go back over here and we'll take a revisit on this to show you guys. Here we go. Let's get some perspective here. Okay, so the Continental train went from Omaha to Cheyenne. They were going to go to Denver, and Denver got bypassed. Then in the 2 years, 1870 is when they built the railroad down to Denver, completion it. So until then, there was no way in or out for any kind of rail traffic by our history, is what they're telling us, that there was no way in. So how were they moving heavy machinery or heavy rail into Colorado before they even got the railroad? And let me show you what that would actually look like. Okay, so let's get an idea of what rail would have looked like moving with horse and wagon. This is in Denver. You can go into the Denver drive that I have on my shared. I've gone over that in my other videos. Please go in there and look. But you have to see it, and when you see it, you're really going to be shocked, and you're going to try to put this together as fast as you can. So the railroad or rail for the railroad would have been about, I don't know, 30 feet, 40 feet long. So it would have been easily the width of this or the length of this, and then probably a few feet out. So imagine trying to four-wheel drive through switchbacks and over canyons. How you'd high center that. I mean, you would absolutely high center it. And then here's them moving another piece of machinery, some kind of boiler of some sort. But that's what I'm trying to tell you is moving this machinery and then plus mud and everything else. So you have all of those snares. You got mud, you got rain, you got snow. I mean, it's just all of it plays a huge part in trying to get it. And we're only dealing with basically what I'm trying to tell you is 40 years from basically 1860 to 1900. And I'm going to show you that with the pictures next when we go through this. So the idea of them coming in until they got the railroad was to bring rail in here, and then also that they were going from Golden to Denver. That's where they were trying to build the railroad. And then so the other one I also want to point out too, a CF&I plant was also basically in 1872 is when they had the concept of building one of the largest steel mills east of the Mississippi. And then it was the smelting capital of the world. And you have to think about Colorado was a huge mining industry. That's all Colorado basically was mining. And so let's go through the pictures now that I've given you an idea that, like, our history is not what they've told us and that they're lying to us. And now that you're able to kind of start to see it, I hope that these pictures will make more sense to you as we go through them now. All right, so I covered this where these two are changed, and I also made mention that this might be a lighthouse, and that's a possibility because. And then this cross looking, it looks like they added more to the front and back of the one that's actually on the carcass that's left in Central City. So, and you could tell that they definitely heavily modified it. And I know this is a back picture, but this is the only one I could find where it actually showed a close up to it, and you could see that this window, this triangle window that they have is a marker for this, and plus the stonework. So that would definitely tell you. And plus, it was found in our trusted historical websites. All right, so we're going to go back over the pictures again, and I'm going to show you these buildings and how important they are. Just this one alone. Because they said after they had in 1874 that basically Salida didn't change much except for them rebuilding everything out of because wood burned to the ground. Now I'm going to show you where they've had actually two time lapses, and this church right here is also very important. So let's actually look into this photograph right here, and you can see the church has been replaced. Another church has been here. So either they added on top of it, which I think they did, or they completely tore this down and started over again. And I noticed that's what they like to do with these buildings. They like to add on to them and refurbish them and make them look like they're newer than what they are. So this building right here is hugely important to this. And I'm going to show you where some of these windows and stuff are broken out in some of these buildings. Like even this one, it looks like some of the windows are broken out. So they're going to have financial upsets. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't only, there's only so much time and to, put in buildings, have tree growth and so forth. You can distinguish time by that. So this building, like I said, it's very important, and let me show you where they actually changed this. Okay, so here you can see the school up here, and you can see some more buildings have been added. You can see that the church has definitely been replaced, and this one's a better, clear picture. And then the one thing I want to show you down here on this line is we still have this building right here, which is the 3. And then this building right here, which you could see they had all the windows closed except for the 2 on the end, and you can see right here the 2 on the end. And you can also see how they had these archways in here. So you can see how they came back and modified the archways. And then they're adding a roof to this building because there was no roof on it originally. And then the other thing is that they add stonework to the top of it, and then later on that gets changed, and then this building also gets changed. And so what I'm trying to show you is I looked up different pictures and trying to place history and stuff, and one of the things that the Civil War would have been an easy one to spot, and especially we had the cameras at the time in order to take the pictures. Okay, so we can see in this picture right here the same building, and you can see how they modified it. And so they put a roof on it, and plus they put a stone hedge on it. So, and then you have Civil War, which I believe are Civil War. Either they're going to war or they're coming back or something, because when you look at this and you place all this on history, look at how bad the paint is faded on all these buildings. And it's supposed to be within 30 years, basically. So if we look at this and we do the calculations on it, okay, so basically 1874 is when they say that Central City was built after the fire. 1874, and we're going to go minus 1900 to the turn of the century is only 26 years, guys, 26 years. And I'm going to show you tree growth where it is absolutely impossible on this building right here, and you're going to see time change so much and wonder how long have we really been here. So I'll continue that in the next video, and we'll go through each one of these pictures.